Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir. So enjoy your lunch?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Somewhat. Why? Not enough. Not enough. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Now, this session I'm going to speak about something very important, very interesting, and it is very much about you. Okay. It's not about the company. It's not about customer service. It's not even about communication. Okay. It's very much about you, and at a very intimate level, I will be connecting with you. Okay. Now, from morning we have been discussing many things. We have been discussing customer service. We have been discussing communication skills, and several things under these topics we have been discussing. So many changes we want to make in communication. We want to smile at a customer. We want to treat him better. We want to treat him with respect. We want to empathize. All these things take for granted or take as assumption that the fact that we want to do these things, right? But what if at a deeper level you don't want to learn at all? What if at a deeper level you're just happy to come to office every day, work? It really doesn't matter whether the customer is interested in you or whether you are interested in the customer. You don't care. What if you're just happy to go through every day's job with just the pay that you're getting, and that's it? I don't want to improve. I have no intention to improve my communication. I have no intention to serve the customer well, right? If this is the thing that is there on your mind, then how is it possible that all these things we learn will have an impact on you? Will it? Right? There are many people who are sitting with that attitude today in the morning. Not many, very few. Okay? People who are not willing to learn, they don't want to learn something new, right? So for them, if I teach how to serve a customer better, there is no use, because at the core, there is something that's disturbing him. Right? He doesn't want to learn these things. Why are you teaching me these things, he'll say. Right? And the core of that problem, I think, comes with the attitude that we carry into the workplace. Right? Now, all of us know what an attitude is and what a positive attitude is. Okay? So let me get some answers from you. What do you think is attitude first? Attitude, man. Behavior. Okay? Yeah? Responsibility. Okay. What is an attitude? Mannerism. Okay. Simply put, you can say it's a way of thinking. Okay, how you think, and out of the thinking, what actions come?
It's a way of expressing yourself.
Way of expressing yourself. Okay. Okay, cool. Now let's say there is an imaginary person standing here. Okay, and that person, he has a very good attitude. Okay, he has a very positive attitude, a very healthy attitude. Okay. So just imagine that guy is standing here. What are the characteristics do you think he will be having? Or how will his behavior be in office every day? What are the things that will be true about him? Can you just give me some answers? Say for example, that guy will be punctual to work. He will never be late to work. Things like that. Can you give me?
Properly.
Yeah?
Properly.
He will work properly. What do you mean?
He is humble towards others.
He is humble when he talks. Okay. Then just give random answers quickly. He is responsible at work, which means if he is given some responsibility, he will execute it. Then
Properly reported higher.
he will.
Properly reported to higher.
Okay. If some work is done, he will report it to the people concerned. Right. Okay. Then
Interested in work.
he is interested in work. Every day when he comes to work, he likes to work. Okay. Then what else? He is decent the way he talks, the way he walks.
Dress code.
Dress code is good. The way he dresses is good. Impressive. Language is good. Person with a positive attitude communicates well. He can talk well. Then what else? He thinks professionally, acts professionally. Some more, many more are there. How will his relationships be with people?
Always in positive mind.
Always with a positive mind, which means practically apply on. Okay. He will think about a solution when there is a problem, right? He will not think about discussing the problem more and more, but he'll be thinking about what is the solution to that problem. Yeah.
Very formal.
It's very formal. Okay. What else? He brings more focus to work. He's more committed. He is dedicated. He treats others with respect, right? he receives respect from others, his relationship with superiors is good, right? All these things we know, right? Do I have to take a class for you to tell you, or take a training session for you to tell you what a positive attitude is? No, we already know it. If you know all the characteristics that a positive attitude person will have, why is it that we are not able to reflect all those characteristics? Do we reflect all these characteristics which we said now? This ideal person whom we saw now, is that us? Is that you? Maybe not in full degree, in some degree it will be there, but to what degree is it there? We need to think, right? And to what extent do you think you reflect that positive attitude? Even when we know what a positive attitude is, even when we know what are the reflections of a positive attitude, why is it that we are not able to bring enough focus or enough concentration or enough punctuality or enough concentration in dressing? Why is it our relationships are not necessarily very good, right? Can we answer this?
But the person is imaginary.
That person is imaginary. So it's not possible to be someone like that? Really? Okay. Then you lose at the beginning of the race itself. If you don't trust that you can grow, then you have lost the race. When you start the race itself, you're telling I will lose the race. Yeah? No. It's too ideal to imagine, is it? Okay. So now I don't think there is a discussion necessary on what a positive attitude is. But I want to have a discussion on why people don't have a positive attitude, right? Many of us don't understand that particular aspect. Why people come to office even when they know what an ideal character is, they still have a negative attitude. Why is it they're not able to bring in enough focus to work, enough concentration to work, enough dedication to work? Why is it conflicts happen in relationships so too quickly, right? Those are the things that we're going to discuss in this session. Okay. First thing, when I think about a person who has a negative attitude, the first point that I think about is the past influences that he carries into the workplace. Now each of us are either 20 or 25 or 30 years old, right? And when we come into the workplace, we are carrying that 20, 30 years of experience along with us, correct? We are not just born yesterday and coming today into the office. So all the conditioning that has happened over the past 20 years, that also is coming together along with us into the office. And what is the level of positivity or negativity that you had in your past? That thing will determine your attitude today in the workplace, right? Let me give for example, if you are a guy who grew up in a home where parents were very encouraging, where your parents motivated you very much, okay? They did not restrict your dreams, they said go and dream, go and achieve what you want. Whatever you asked, they got that for you, right? They pat on your back and say you are meant to be an achiever. And when you went to school, you had good friends, people whom you like, people who will like you, teachers who treated you well, okay? And when you went to college, the same thing happened. People did not disapprove you, they liked you, treated you with respect. And again, in your previous work experience, there also you were not a failure, you were a success, okay? And let's say that kind of a guy comes into the workplace today. What will be his attitude at work? Let's imagine an opposite scenario. A guy comes in with a lot of negativity, was not treated well at home, he was not respected by his friends, or people always made fun of him. His teachers never believed that he will be a success. They always told him that this guy is a failure. And he went into college, he repeated the same behaviors. Okay, as a consequence, he won more negativity from people. And from his previous work experience, he was yelled at by his boss, or by his superiors or his managers. And now he comes into CMS. What will his attitude be? Do you see the difference in behavior that these two people will bring to the workplace? Yeah, the way they will react to problems, the way they will react to situations, the way they will react to emergencies, right? How they will react to criticism. When somebody criticizes, how will the positive person feel? He will feel, okay, this particular thing is wrong about me. I have done this particular mistake. As a consequence, it is easy for him to accept criticism, right? But when it comes to the negative person, he feels that it is an assassination on his personality itself. That my entire character is wrong. Everything about me is wrong now. He has touched the core part of me. When a person with a negative attitude encounters criticism, as a consequence, relationships, flare up very quickly, and people have, they're not able to bring the same amount of focus that they have to bring in their work. So what you need to think about is what is the impact or influence your past has on you today, right? You cannot change your past, right? You cannot change your parents or your teachers or your bad friends if you had them. Neither can you change the good things about your past. But what you can do is try to gain an understanding or control of the past that you have had, right? What is the upbringing that you had? You can try to sit on some day and think about it, and you will understand why you bring in some negativity into the workplace. Why is it that I'm not, I'm inhibited to taking responsibility? Why is that I have some fear in talking with these people? All these things can have their roots in your past. Okay? So think about this first. Second reason, and this is very true for young people who are very young and just getting started with their careers. It is possible that at this point of time, when you are entering into a particular career, into a particular field, you might have chosen a field that is not most attractive for you. Okay? Maybe you had some personal situations or some problems, you needed to find a job quickly. Just like this, I need a job now. Okay? But I don't know which is my field, I don't know what my actual talent is, I don't know what my actual interest is, but my difficulties have forced me into a particular line. So you might have not even had the time or the motivation or the guidance to think about what your actual talent is. Just imagine, we have all been gifted with some interests, right? We have all been gifted with some capabilities, to such an extent that if I use those capabilities, I'll be excited about it, right? Now I love this training. If I didn't discover that training is my passion, and if I'm working in some other job that is not suited to my interest, what attitude will I carry to that workplace, right? I'd like to recall a story. There's a popular book called The Fountainhead. Okay, it's a very popular novel written by an American writer called Ayn Rand. In that book, she recalls the story of a guy who wanted to become an architect. Okay, and situations forced him to become or to work in a granite factory for some time. The situation was, he was in a poor situation, okay, and he was pushed to work in a granite factory. His dream was to become an architect. At that time, the way he interpreted his work in the granite factory, he said, this particular work is necessary for me today so that tomorrow I can become an architect. He did not say, that's it, my life is doomed, I want to become an architect, this is my end, or this is the thing that I will do forever, right? He viewed that particular part of his life as a rung in the ladder, which means as a stone, a stepping stone to a next part in his career, right? Now that's the way you need to interpret your work experience over here. Nothing is final over here. Nobody comes here to stay here forever, right? Does any of us come here to stay here forever? I'm a temporary guy just here for training, right? You might be here for a longer period of time, but all of us are there looking at our particular aspect or particular time in life as rungs in the ladder. You will be able to come out of this particular problem.